So this is Duncan Wickel, who's a really great fiddle player in the New York City scene and in a lot of other places. And so how old were you when you started playing violin?
4 years old.
What kind of music did you start out with?
I started out with Suzuki and pretty early on got into fiddle music. I had two of my mother's sisters played fiddle. One of them was a Suzuki teacher actually, and she also played some bluegrass stuff. So I got into the sounds of bluegrass that way. And then my other aunt was an Irish fiddle player, and she ended up being a big mentor to me. So.
What drew you to New York City for bluegrass or for music?
I just really love the diversity here, musically, culturally, in every way. It's just so diverse. So I guess that was my initial draw to it, and you can sort of have the finest of everything here. So it's kind of the world in one city. So it's nice. It's always refreshing to have influences from other, like to see what's going on in the Cuban music scene, or the Venezuelan music scene, or whatever, to have all this amazing stuff going on.
Yeah. So how long have you been living in New York?
I would say it's probably been about 7 or 8 years now.
How have you seen the scene evolve, in bluegrass since you've been here?
I feel like it ebbs and flows a lot. Like when I first moved here, there was a lot of sort of colleagues of mine who were also students at Berkeley, where I went to school in Boston. There was kind of a wave of us that moved down here at the same time. So that was like a really exciting time for like my age of people playing bluegrass. And then a lot of those people have since moved to Nashville, so it kind of peaks and valleys, I guess.
Did you what drew you to playing folk music and bluegrass when you were younger?
Well, for me it was kind of a little bit of an escape from the pressure of classical violin, because I did that a lot, and it just seemed like it was really important for me to have folk music to keep the sort of an alternative to this sort of competitive, high-pressure atmosphere of classical music, and to have some more of a family sort of atmosphere with the music scene.
Yeah. You're a part of this, but why do you think there are so many younger people playing? Because usually, I guess, people who usually play are typically older. 50s, 60s now. So there are a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds playing. Why do you think that there are so many younger people playing?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I grew up totally homeschooled. I didn't go to school till college, so I always feel like I'm the least qualified person to know anything about my generation or anything like that. But I just did it because that's all I really knew how to do to make a living and to express myself and have friends. That's kind of always what I've done. But it is interesting, and I do wonder about that. I wonder how. I feel like it's like I was just saying about the family atmosphere. I think it's a great way for kids to have it's a great way for kids to connect with each other, not on the internet, and to have some real meaningful foundation for relationships.
Yeah.
The cool thing about folk music, I guess, and bluegrass is that it's not really about performance. So the jamming aspect is really cool and communal.
Yeah, it's my favorite part. Did you start off playing the violin, or was there another instrument that you started on?
Yeah, I've always primarily been a fiddle player. Violin.
And you also play the cello.
Yeah.
When did you start playing the cello?
Towards the end of college, I got into it. My roommate was Tristan Claridge, who's a great cellist.
Yeah.
He encouraged me to start. Him and his sister Tashina sort of encouraged me to start playing cello. So I got really into it. For a while, it sort of like overtook my passion from the fiddle.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about this next question, but if you could describe the music or the scene in like one word or phrase.
I think I would say pretty open-minded compared to a lot of other regional bluegrass scenes.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a little bit more tolerant of other influences in New York, you know, than in Nashville, for example.
Mhm. I like that. So you created this thing called the Wickelbuckle. How did that come about?
It came about because I was playing with a band. We were called the Boston Boys, and then we became the Rondo Riggs. And it was essentially a rock band with fiddle in it and mandolin. And so it was pretty much like I was singing a lot and also like kind of like moving around a lot. And I just found it to be really restrictive to be, you know, having my head have to be completely stationary. So, so I designed this strap where I could essentially like move my head around and sing without having any tension in my neck. So that was kind of the necessity for the invention, I think.
It's pretty cool. Is there like another instrument that you've always wanted to play, or besides the fiddle, or have you always just wanted to play the fiddle?
Yeah, I mean my attention kind of drifts to other instruments depending on like the phase that I'm going through with like the type of music and stuff. Right now I'm just like kind of into learning songs, so I tend to gravitate more toward instruments where it's easier to sort of harmonize or accompany singing, so like piano or guitar, keyboard instruments or guitar.
Yeah. Do you have like any standout moments playing in New York City or just in general?
Like best, most fun, or most significant?
Yeah, either one.
Well, last night we got paid $200 to play Light Wheel. No, I don't know. Well, I mean, as far as like accolades sort of things, I got to play on the Stephen Colbert show for 2 nights. That was
That's
pretty fun.
cool.
And I would say that was also just very, like a musical height. In addition to just being cool, it was really fun. The first night, Parliament and Funkadelic were musical guests, so we got to like play all their hits with them, and like I'm a huge fan of theirs. So that was like I was like really starstruck during that. And like that was like the ultimate sort of like New York musician experience for me, I would have to say.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. What draws you to bluegrass now, or when you were younger?
I mean, I would have to say it would be the community element, not to rip off everyone else, but just because like I've always been really into a lot of different kinds of music, and I was really into jazz when I was like a teenager, like a young teenager, and then when I went to college, actually college was like when I really just started playing bluegrass and old time music all the time, and the reason really was that there just was more. I was really just drawn to the community. I found that everyone in the jazz scene was like there was always this kind of like air of suspicion about everyone. You know, just like a sort of like a fear of competition and stuff. And then like when I would go to like a bluegrass jam and hang out with everyone, it was like it was definitely like more like people from the jazz scene at Berkeley would always come to the bluegrass hang because they just knew it was a better hang. So there was definitely like a heightened interest during my time there bluegrass, I think, from everyone at the school, or many people at the school. And that was right around the time that the Roots program started at Berkeley, so they kind of decided to sort of capitalize on the energy.
Yeah. There was always competition, and like it was always really hard to like get gigs because everyone would just like know all each other, and yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely some of that in bluegrass, but
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely and I don't know why. It's because it's like there's just something more chill about it, about the music, and that reflects on the scene. I think music always reflects on the community in interesting ways. I feel like, you know, like like the instruments that are in it. Like one thing is that bluegrass instruments are like are considerably quieter than like saxophone and trumpet and stuff like that. So I feel like that maybe has, I have a theory that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you like always want to become like a musician when you were older? Did you always want to grow up and be a musician?
For the most part, yes. I used to want to work for the Lego company, but it didn't work out. That was the one other thing I was in. I was just like really into Legos, so I thought maybe I'd be an architect or something like that. But I would be a terrible architect.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much I've always played music and always thought I would do it, and started doing it professionally when I was pretty young. So I've really haven't known anything else. I haven't had like any other job. Basically, I've always been able to. And I'm very grateful that I've always been able to sustain myself playing music.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
And involving me in the project.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
was really fun.